What the heck is a sucker fool? Are they gonna let me in the front door? Of course they're not. It won't open. I have to look for a different way in. I've only gifted a subscription once, and I think I had to like type in their name, or if they're in chat, like I click in their name or something like that. I can feel the presence of the three higher elements quite strongly here, though it's not as if I'm any stranger to that sensation. Oh, I'm impressed. I suppose people from the church really can sense these things. You would be correct. Many of our people have learned to sense spiritual presences. Speaking of which, I have a question for you, Tio. You possess a similar ability, don't you? In a manner of speaking. In my case, it would be better described as being induced, or described as an induced sensitivity rather than inherent to me. My apologies. Perhaps that was a bit insensitive of me. Not to worry. It was a perfectly natural question. Reese may be more similar to Tio than I realized. Anyway, it's clear the way forward isn't going to be easy. Let's brace ourselves. Thankfully, we shouldn't have to deal with that gimmick again to unlock the door in the chapel. It'll be easier to reach the belfry with that out of the way. Alright then, make sure to watch your 6. Don't want any nasty ghouls creeping up on us. Oh, I just know I'm going to enjoy this. It's like getting a free round of Michelin's famous horror coaster. Did you knock it off, Wazy? Or you'll leave me no choice but to knock you upside the head. Oh my, do you frighten easily with these sorts of things, perhaps? Don't act like you didn't know. Anyway, even though we've investigated this place before, it's very possible that there's some new surprises at work here. Let's take it one step at a time and not get ahead of ourselves. Roger. Benjamin. Before we begin, there's something that's been bothering me for a while now. If I may ask, what is that sugary sweet scent wafting off of you, Lloyd? Huh? Could it be the maple muffins that Kia made for us yesterday? We couldn't eat them all, so we ended up with plenty of extras. I think you're right. There. They kept their scent after an entire day of travel. Such is the magic of Kia's cooking, I suppose. Reese? Was that you just now? Please forgive me. I haven't had a chance to eat since leaving Sunday school. You see, it's been a ravenous time for me. Would you perhaps be so kind as to share one of those muffins with me? Sure, I guess, if you're okay with leftovers, that is. Delicious. Guess that's one more satisfied customer for Kia. This muffin is filled to the brim with radiant qualities of warmth and joy. But I'd feel just awful taking it for free. Perhaps I can offer you this in return. It was given to me by my superior before I was assigned here. I trust you'll make good use of it. Thank you, Reese. We appreciate it. Alright, let's pull ourselves together and keep moving forward. That was interesting. Did I actually give her one of my muffins? I did. What a sucker food. Alright, I remember this dungeon being annoying. A lot of places to go, a lot of things to do. Protect all NPCs. If an NPC reaches 0, it's game over. Which is... I don't really agree with this escort mission because it's not like Reese can defend herself. You know, maybe putting up a front, but she's not just going to let herself die. Ah yes, Sucker Fool, the non-ghetto Chinese knockoff version. I believe it's described as a lack of ebonics. At least that's how I would go with it. Can't move these guys. You stole a crit from me too? Oh, I definitely forgot about that. Okay. The sucker fool thing always cracks me up, though. People can be so silly. I kind of want to stay away from those guys. The truth of the Zemurian continent is that Adios, this chest message, has been confiscated by the Congregation for the Sacraments. I prefer to stay away from those ones. Actually, this is a way. Door is sealed shut. Oh, okay. I don't remember what these enemies do. You stole my team rush too? This is an outrage. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Come on. Come on. How can everyone be this useless? Oh my gosh. Ugh. Oh my gosh, you're being helpful? Wow, you're being helpful. Oh, I don't think I'll be fighting these enemies anymore. Looks like I'll be skipping a good chunk of enemies in this dungeon. It's like all the doors are closed. I don't remember these enemies. Don't know much about the orbital net, but cloud storage sounds like heresy. Chest kind should not infringe upon the domain of Chestios, she who stores above. Chestios. These guys might have a death whale kind of thing. Oh, you sucker fool. I purposefully did not go in for the attacks. Right, you got vanished. Okay, they self-destruct. It's not a insta-kill thing. Self-destruct still isn't good, though. Right. We're going upstairs. Oh, alright, so it does seem like they just don't want me going anywhere. Save. That took a while. You know, Ellie, you're looking a lot less pale this time around. I suppose it does help having Reese here with us. Well, it's only natural you'd feel safe in the presence of a sister from the Septian Church. Yeah, this was a place of worship like any other back in the day. And again, with a cutie like her around, I've already got the answer to all my prayers. That was forced at best. Reese, did you just notice something? A crest on the floor caught my eye. Isn't it the same as the one that belonged to that cult? Oh, so you know about them. You're right. I think they used this crest back in the Middle Ages. It presumably played a role in the bloody rituals they conducted. Reminds me of what happened to us last time we were in here. The bell rang all on its own, and a devil spawned right on top of that crest. Don't tell me. Sense an exceptionally wicked presence. again. Speak of the devil, never felt this literal. Me and my big mouth. Exercise caution, its spiritual energy far exceeds that of the one we faced previously. Here it comes. Gotta protect her from getting absolutely destroyed. Let's see. I believe Homeboy Slice has something. I'm gonna do that. Impede? Impede. Oh, that's a ranged attack. Okay, good to know. See the odd comment Nomura made regarding Kingdom Hearts 4's development at the recent concert. Apparently something happened around the time of the Final Fantasy XIV leak in October that could affect the development. I don't know anything about the leak or what happened with the development or the concert. I did not see that on Reddit. Is who I would actually like to do that with. Let's see, that is some giga delay. Did you see my? I have a message on Discord, so that one's probably it. But never mind. I did not do the damage that I was hoping for. Steam Deck, yeah. I gave it a shot. It's not a big deal for me, but I said, you know what, why not? I got the 512 version, so, you know, it'll be about $60 or something like that. And I wouldn't mind, you know, if I got the $60, I would buy Monochromius, or whatever it's called. Because apparently that's a $60 game. Alright. This is what I was afraid of. You're not actually getting anything cool, man. Ugh. How many levels do these things have? Let's see, last time we got about the same amount. So 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 more levels? Ugh. We pulled it off somehow. Come on, we're the best in the business. It never stood a chance. I recognize a bluff when I hear one. Wait, don't start breathing easy just yet. Is this where she's like, alright, I'll step in? Oh. They couldn't even keep the first one down, and now there's more. These fiends, they must be members of the undead. Permanently vanquishing them might not be possible with the weapons and arts we currently have at our disposal. That can't be. What a pain in my booty. Well, we'd better find out how to take them down with what we've got, or else. Go back for now, Reese. Just stay between us, and we'll make sure to keep you safe, no matter... Actually, that won't be necessary. Fly, Infinity Sparrows. The heck? We eliminated those fiends in no more than a few seconds. Now for the final touch. Whoa, she's purifying them. Lloyd, that magic circle just now. Yeah, it was like the one Father Kevin used at the Altair Lodge. Reese, does this mean you're... Take it to mean you didn't tell them about my true identity, Ellie. No, I've kept quiet about it. It didn't seem like the kind of information I should share. I appreciate that. I believe the Archbishop already has his suspicions about this, but the truth is I belong to a secret order within the church, the Gralsritter. It's a sect within the Congregation for the Sacraments tasked with the collection of artifacts. The Gralsritter? That's the same order Father Kevin belongs to. Must be referring to Kevin Graham, correct? It just so happens that I'm one of the squires working under him. The original plan was for him to come to Crossbell and conduct an investigation into what's going on behind the scenes, but the Archbishop would have never allowed him to set foot in the cathedral, so I came in his place. Do you recall him mentioning the Archbishop's vendetta? That would explain why you're here. This situation with the Moon Temple is just one of the many things you're delving into. Man, though, sounds like the church ain't such a big happy family behind the stained glass. No, shameful as it is to admit, or no, shameful as it is to admit. I'm going to make my way to the Belfry to continue my investigation. If you'd like to know more, then I invite you to follow me. I would be interested in hearing your thoughts on things as well. It sounds like a wise course of action. The longer we remain here, the greater our possibility of encountering another fiend. Agreed, let's head to the Belfry. The heaven? Does Kevin Graham have a lot of salt in him? I see you are making a reference to yesterday. And I get your reference. And you know what? It's funny you should say that, Manadryad, because let's just say that Kevin is the saltiest among them. And he, let's just say when the salt has to come out, he's a force to be reckoned with. We'll just say that. This must be the bell that was mentioned in the report. It looks almost identical to the one in Central Square. The bell's resonance produces an otherworldly aura of sorts that surrounds the entire temple. That would seem to be the cause of the spirits we encountered. Last time, Randy Noel and I were able to stop it from ringing by force, and it wasn't easy. Doing so caused that peculiar aura to disappear, but thinking back on it, something doesn't add up. Right, how would a bell this huge even start ringing by itself in the first place? Maybe someone did it on purpose after all. Perhaps. Intentional or not, let's not wait around for it to start summoning even more fiends. We can talk about this more after we stop the bell from resonating. Randy, Wazy, mind helping me out? I hate to get my hands dirty, but if you insist, brute force it is. Stop complaining and get to it. Please wait. Physical contact is far from the safest course of action here. Step away from the bell, if you would. That should suffice. Reese, did you just... Yes, I used a technique passed down in the church to seal away the magic. Supporting that, the presence of the higher elements has vanished from the surrounding area. It's safe to assume the fiends have disappeared along with it. Not to mention our time in the spotlight. Not bad, Reese. Well, I wouldn't say that. You're the reason I managed to get this far. And for that, you have my deepest gratitude. Thank you, everyone. I believe this should conclude our investigation into the fiends. It's been a pleasure, Reese. You bailed us out a lot today, I'll say. Besides, for a cutie like you, sister, I'd have gone to Gehenna and back. I appreciate that. Why do I bother? You tried. Pay him no mind, Reese. This one has trouble knowing when to keep his mouth shut. Changing the subject, shall we accompany Reese back to the cathedral? That shouldn't be a problem. The SSS mobile isn't parked too far away. We wouldn't want to impose, though. What do you think, Reese? It would be rude of me to pass up such a kind offer. Not to mention, I've worked up quite an appetite. The sooner I can get back to Sister Juju's cookies, the better. Then we'd better not waste any time. Let's go. Isn't it a 6-seater, though? We've got 7 people. Where's she gonna sit? On the floor? Ain't gonna have no seatbelt. Gralsritter in the special support section. Now there's an amusing collaboration. I didn't do half bad in our fun little game of Palm Party yesterday either. No plan is complete without some key players, but just how much will they figure into ours, I wonder. I always love having something new to look forward to. Try not to slip up, everyone. Afterward, the SSS escorted Reese back to Crossbell Cathedral. Thank you for going out of your way to drive me back, everyone. It was such a smooth ride that I couldn't help but enjoy myself. Maybe we put her in the trunk. Glad to hear it. By the way, Reese, not to pry, but have you told anyone at the cathedral that you're in the Gralsritter? Strictly speaking, no. That said, I'm sure Archbishop Aralda has his suspicions. But as long as I keep a low profile, I should be fine. Sounds like being in the church ain't all sunshine and rainbows. Keep yourself safe, okay, Reese? And try not to stress yourself out too much. Your lovely complexion will thank you for it. Of course, you don't have anything to be concerned about. If I ever need another helping hand, I'll be sure to let you all know. Same here. Alright, should we get ourselves going? Roger that. This. Somebody at the cathedral? Somebody muy importante. I'm sure you know, Julia, but we have an old friend who was appointed to the cathedral not long ago. Yes, I inquired to one of the other sisters. It seems she's teaching a class outside the cathedral today. Oh, is that right? Would have liked the opportunity to see her today. We still owe her a debt for her help back then. Princess Claudia. And Senior Captain Schwarz, too. There they are. Hello, everyone. We meet again. Julia and I have been expecting you. Pardon? How did you know we were coming? Through Sieg. We have him monitoring our surroundings from up in the sky. He alerted us as to your arrival at the cathedral just now. I mean, the White Falcon we met yesterday. Wow, he really is amazing. Sieg is an established informant of the Royal Guard, after all. But enough about that. What brings you all here today? Oh, and you even have a new face with you. Io Plato, pleased to meet you. I returned to the SSS last night. It is an honor. The honor's all mine. Honestly, we were just doing our rounds. No real reason for stopping by or anything. I saw your car outside. Quite a twist of fate running into your highness and the senior captain again so soon. Are you here to pay your respects? That's right. The cemetery is the final resting place for generations of those who have lost their lives in Crossbell. I wanted to come and see them before today's conference, not just to honor their memory, but to come to terms with the true costs and repercussions of the Crossbell problem. Crossbell problem. That phrase is used to describe Ereboni and Calvard's feud over which of them has rightful ownership of Crossbell, correct? Yes, though it's hardly a phrase you'd hear Crossbellans use themselves. The conflict has given rise to decades of tension, placing the two at the brink of war with Crossbell right between them. The signing of the Non-Aggression Pact in Liberl 2 years ago only calmed things on the surface. Both major powers still... My apologies, Your Highness. I don't mean to sound so rude. No, everything you have said is the truth, Ellie. The purpose of Grandmothers of Queen Alicia's Non-Aggression Pact was to prevent the Empire and Republic from resorting to military force. That allowed Crossbell to breathe a sigh of relief. The threat of war finally dissipated. But in its place came unseen political pressure from the two major powers, pressure that has greatly affected the Crossbell state government. Because of that, it'd be far too naive to claim the Non-Aggression Pact solved the Crossbell problem, merely shifted the field of battle. Your Highness. But that doesn't mean the Non-Aggression Pact has been meaningless. The Empire and Republic were still performing large-scale military exercises at our borders when I enlisted in the CGF. And I'll never be able to forget the terror of having those Imperial Railway guns pointed at Crossbell City. He's right. If war had broken out and the Empire pulled the trigger, countless Crossbellan lives would have been lost. Shortcomings aside, avoiding a tragedy like that is more than enough to justify the signing of the pact. Either way, it's nothing you need to worry your pretty little head about, wouldn't you say, Your Highness? Seriously, Wazy? You can't tell a crowned princess to just get over it. That's alright. I know there's no sense in living in the past forever. That's why I plan to use the trade conference as an opportunity to discuss Crossbell's future. Coming here today was the final step in strengthening my resolve before doing so. Well, I suppose it was a bit selfish of me to make more work for Julia and the Royal Guardsmen. Please, Your Highness, it was no trouble at all. If you don't mind me saying, Princess Claudia, you have an incredible strength of character. Yes, I envy the bright future that Liberl clearly has in store. The two of you are too kind. If I may interrupt, Your Highness, the designated time is approaching. Oh, you're right. My apologies, Julia. Let us make our way to Orcus Tower. I have to bid you farewell for now, Special Support Section. Though I suppose we'll be crossing paths again, soon. I understand you're working security during the conference. That's right, the SSS will be making every effort to keep all of you safe. We'll leave it in your capable hands, then. See you at Orcus Tower, ladies and gentlemen. Is this new? Still don't know who that is. What's up, guy? So it's been a hot minute since I was doing the side quest that I was working on. Third doll's outside the city, where one stands with their back bathed in the goddess's shining visage. You know, come to think of it, church is probably a good place to check, huh? Welcome. Is there something you require of me? If it's a sermon you're after, I can make the time for you. Sorry, that's not why we're here today. Phantom Thief B's card mentioned the goddess's shining visage. Wow. You know, it's pretty nice and pretty lucky of me to actually find that Reese quest and have it lead me to the church, and then me be like, oh, it's here that I need to be. I don't know why I didn't think of this place originally. Maybe that was referring to the stained glass window there, which would make the one who stands with their back bathed. I don't understand what's going on right now. But if you have business with me, I must ask that you state it clearly. Right, sorry about that. Archbishop Aralda, could you do us a favor and check under the pulpit? Why would I do that? Now, don't fret. We aren't up to anything suspicious. We explain the mission. There it is. Fourth cage lies outside the city. Find the road of iron that snakes under the skirt of the western ramparts. Must be Mistel. Belle loves this one. I'll bet she does. At any rate, that brings us up to 3 dolls. Just when did that get there? I do leave for business on occasion, but never long enough for someone to do this. The goddess works in mysterious ways. Back to the card, this clue is as perplexing as the rest. We could interpret the ramparts to be some sort of defensive structure. We include the western part, we get the defensive structure in the west. That's one interpretation, at least. There's also the road of iron that snakes under the skirt. Yeah, I don't have any idea what that means. Another figure of speech, I imagine. That's a safe assumption. Alright, let's take this trunk with us and begin our search for the next one. Phantom Thief B. I've heard of his exploits before. He sounds to be quite the scoundrel. As a faithful servant of the goddess, I cannot forgive such insolence. Do whatever it takes to bring this man to justice. We'll try our best. Alright, well, I'm glad that worked out, because I didn't really have much faith. I used faith on purpose right there, so that I can give a ha-ha, ha-ha-ha-ha. So essentially, during the concert, Nomura took the stage and said there was something in October that happened that may affect Kingdom Hearts 4's development and release time. In October, there was a giant Final Fantasy XIV leak that had hundreds of assets, so people think Kingdom Hearts 4 may have been leaked too. Additionally, there appears to be issues with adding Star Wars into the game, licensing-wise for some reason. Oddly enough, Yoko Shimomura was near Nomura when he said this on stage, and she was shocked to hear this. So this seems to imply that he was the only one with this knowledge. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm gonna go here. I feel like the Road of Iron is the... Oh, it is the west. I have a pretty good idea where I need to go, but... I want to check something real quick. I have a notification. Ah. Wait, no. That's not that one. Ah. My gift sub to Mr. JRPG has expired. Thank you for letting me know, Twitch. Okay. Oh, didn't mean to run into that one. Well, as I mentioned, might have been yesterday or the day before, I'm not really all too sure that I care about Kingdom Hearts 4. I think I'm off the Kingdom Hearts train. There's a possibility that I'll play Kingdom Hearts 4, but it certainly won't be on release day, and I'll certainly not be paying full price for it. The game is fun, or like, Kingdom Hearts has fun gameplay. But I just can't get behind the story. It just bugs me so much. And it's something that I can't really just put up with anymore. You know, how many Kingdom Hearts games are there? There's like 7 or something like that. And the story still has no, I don't want to say like no conclusion, but it has no like realistic signs of answering questions. You know, like everything that it poses is still just a huge gargantuan mystery. And to be fair, the Trails games are very much like that as well. But at least they approach it in a different way, you know? Like, I'm certainly sick and tired of the way that Trails games has been approaching their stories too. But Kingdom Hearts just amplifies that to a factor of 20. Kingdom Hearts 3 was not your favorite way to spend money. Yeah. I mean, like, I keep saying it, you know, the gameplay was fun for me. I enjoyed the gameplay. It was really enjoyable. I had a great time with the gameplay. But, and I'm very much a gameplay person when it comes to enjoying, like, the things that I enjoy about games the most. The gameplay is at the top. But you can't, like, when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, the story is one of the draws, I guess. It's pretty dang difficult to play Kingdom Hearts and not gain some sort of attachment to the story and the characters. And once you get that attachment, just goes all downhill from there. Story is insane. It's pretty insane. Kingdom Hearts is just going to keep being milked as long as it keeps selling. I mean, to be fair, there seems to be a lot of fans that like the way that Kingdom Hearts is going. Not a lot of people put a lot of interest on or, like, they don't have a lot of interest in the story and whatnot. So maybe they're just content with, you know, the gameplay, and you know, the gameplay has always been pretty good for its time. Kingdom Hearts 1 was a really fun game when it first came out. It ain't that way for me anymore, but you know, there you go. Kingdom Hearts 2 is the bomb diggity, and it's still the bomb diggity. Kingdom Hearts 3 has some great gameplay as well. And then you have all the spin-off. I think, you know what? I think that's probably the crux of it. If it was just Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, I'd be like, okay, I could play Kingdom Hearts 4, no problem. But the problem is that they have Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep and Chain of Memories and Birth by Sleep 0.2 Suckle Fu and Recoded and 358 over 7 days, and you know, just all these spin-off games that quote unquote matter to the story, and it's just exhausting. So exhausting. Like, why do I have to play freaking 7 spin-off games to get a better understanding of the main games? And it's still not enough to gain a proper understanding. Like, cut me some slack here, man. It's insane. Hey, Morganites guys. Hey, what was my clue? It's outside the city at the Road of Iron that snakes under the skirt of the Western Ramparts. Nostalgia is a powerful tool. One could say it's a heavenly drug as well. And that's what we've learned from our vetted source at the CPD. It would be wise to presume that terrorists will attempt to infiltrate the conference in some fashion. Dealing with them will be troublesome, no doubt. Very well, we'll strengthen security at Tangram Gate and remain vigilant. Please do. You should also be aware that there is a possibility they will attempt to enter by airship. Make good use of the surveillance facility set up near you at the end of the border. The anti-aircraft radar, you mean? Understood. I'll contact the officer on duty immediately. From the sound of it, the commander and deputy commander are discussing security strategy. Yes, it would appear counterterrorism measures are being given top priority. They say something about radars. Wasn't aware the CGF had gizmos like that now. As I recall, they were stationed near each of the border gates. I've never personally handled them, though. Foundation installed them in Crossbell a while back, I'm told. They are high-performance devices and should thus provide sufficient airspace coverage within the state. That's impressive. Suppose we can rest a tiny bit easier with those things around. Doesn't look like a skirt to me. Kingdom Hearts 2 is definitely the best. Kingdom Hearts 2 is so good. It's so good. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Dream Drop Distance was the worst one. So I actually liked Dream Drop Distance, but it wasn't because of the story or the characters or the locations or anything like that. I liked Dream Drop Distance because of flow motion. Flow motion was so much fun. Oh, I've never been down here. And that's the only reason I liked Dream Drop Distance. And I think they had flow motion in Kingdom Hearts 3, but it just wasn't nearly as enjoyable. Okay, it's definitely over here somewhere. We're going on the tracks. Oh, yeah, there it is, right there. I want to investigate this a little bit more. I love Kingdom Hearts 2, but as a teen it made you cringe so much. First one had a slightly better story. I would agree with that. I think the story does go a little bit off the rails in Kingdom Hearts 2, but the gameplay is so unbelievably good. The gameplay in Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best in the entire series. It's so comprehensive and it has so much depth to it, but it's also simple enough that you can just like latch onto it. It's so good. How did this even get here? The clue on the card said, the road of iron that snakes under the skirt of the western ramparts. So the Iron Road was the freight line, and the western ramparts were referring to the Belgard Gate. Or the Iron Road is the road that leads to Erebonia. That's what I was thinking. At any rate, they say that a lot. I think I mentioned that, but say that a lot. This isn't really an ideal place to pop that trunk open. Why don't we take it to the platform on the other side? Good idea. Let's be careful moving it over. The final cage lies within the city. In the soaring structure, descend from the summit of 16 by 21 and scour the vista of windows to another world. Oh, I know exactly where that is. It's one of Belle's dolls, Sharon. I'm sure of it. That makes 4 out of 5, right? Meaning all that remains is the final cage mentioned on the card. Soaring structure in the city. It has to be talking about someplace tall, right? Wouldn't that be Orcus Tower? I believe Orcus Tower stands at 40 stories above ground. But if the summit in question here is at 16, then perhaps it's talking about somewhere else. There's also the matter of descending from 16 by 21. Doesn't sound possible. That's probably the key to solving this riddle, then. We have that vista of windows to another world bit to consider, too. Yet again, it's some sort of metaphor. Let's look around the city and see if anything matches up with this clue. Go over here. Did not, but nothing over there. The Fantasia world was cool. True, the Three Musketeers and Tron Legacy worlds were dope too. Back when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, you remember you thought the interactions with the Disney characters just felt so lame. But nowadays, it's probably the most fun one. I've kind of always felt this, but I don't think... So I think Kingdom Hearts 1 was a cool way to go about it. But I don't think that the Kingdom Hearts games have really leveraged the Disney worlds in the ways that I feel like they should be leveraged. I need a mark.